Odell Beckham's dad looks a lot better than Baker Mayfield right now. I'm Robin Lundberg here with Ashley Nicole Moss. And Ashley, Baker's struggles continued on Monday night. And a lot of people are starting to wonder, should the Browns move on? Here's my problem with that. When you say it, it's very easy to go, all right, replace the QB. Then the question becomes, with whom? So sure, if you can get Russell Wilson or somebody like that, fine. Otherwise, you have Mayfield under contract for one more year before you've got to give him the big extension. And we know he was injured. So I think you're probably best off letting him get healed and giving it another go next season.
Yeah, I think that's probably the route that they're going to take, not because they may necessarily want to, but because they don't really have any other options. Look, Cleveland is not, a top destination for a lot of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't see Russell Wilson leaving Seattle to go to Cleveland. It's just not going to happen. Also, there's been a lot of, chatter about the coaching staff, and you see some of the decision makings that they make during games. It's things that make you kind of tilt your head sideways and wonder, what was that? Also, there's drama within the locker room sometimes. You remember the situation that you just alluded to with Odell Beckham and Baker Mayfield and then the offense. And there's just a lot going on. But it is interesting because if you look at the game that they played against the Steelers last night, you look at almost a year ago, and they look like a completely different team. I mean, Baker Mayfield probably had one of the best games of his career in that game. He wasn't even sacked, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and then you see him almost a year later, and he looks like a completely different quarterback. And now his scapegoat, or not his scapegoat, Browns fans and the Browns organization scapegoat, Odell Beckham, is gone. So now whose fault is it? I think there's a lot going on with this team, especially within the offense. It does not just fall on the shoulders of Baker Mayfield, but as the quarterback, you do get a lot of the blame.
Yeah, but injuries make it tough for me always too, because that they have to impair your performance. I don't know the degree of it. I never thought Baker Mayfield is an elite level quarterback. I probably saw him as a tick above average. But you can win with a player like that. I mean, we referenced last year. Look at the position the Browns were in. So was his fall off this season to looking like a flat out bad player? How much was that due to injury versus how much was his success last year due to the team around him?
I think that's, a good question, because if you look at his stats last season compared to this, the team was a big part of that. The team as a whole looked better. Now, they did bring back a lot of the pieces from last season, so you would expect to see some sort of remnant of what you saw in the previous season, and it doesn't seem like you're getting that. I will say, though, to Baker Mayfield's credit, up until last night, after that, atrocious game where he said, I got to make some decisions for myself, in so many words, Baker gives his all to this Cleveland franchise. I think that that's very telling about his character. Even when the whole Odell Beckham situation came forward and, that was going on, you didn't really hear Baker say anything negative about Odell. It was really much everybody else around him. I will say that if you say anything about this quarterback, it's that he's dedicated to make the situation in Cleveland work. And sometimes that's the biggest piece of a puzzle, because in a league that's, about business, guys come and go and they say, look, it's not working, I'm out. Baker doesn't seem to have that character trait. And I think it's up to the Browns to put him in a position to win and then only then do I think you can really say he's just not our guy.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see him in a Browns uniform next season, but we should probably see him in fewer commercials until he stops throwing the ball to the other team so much.